11, Claire Rettler. Hitting second is number 1, Gracie Flatch. Hitting third is number 12, Kelly Gazer. Hitting fourth is number 34, Izzy Hernandez. Hitting fifth is number 33, Maddie Conway. Hitting sixth is number 9, Gwen Hendrick. Hitting seventh is number 6, Riley Johnson. Hitting eighth is number 19, Sarah Bennett. Hitting ninth is number 21, Abby Werbisky. And in the flex position is number 31, Liv Kabusi. And now for your Concordia Chicago Cougars. Leading off for the Cougars and playing shortstop is number 14, Becky Peroni. Hitting second and playing center field is number 23, Nikita Robbins. Batting third and playing third base is number 1, Bella Archuleta. Hitting cleanup and playing first base is number 33, Haley Howard. Batting fifth and playing second base is number 15, Arissa Santos. Batting sixth and catching today is number 12, Jessica Gang. Batting seventh and pitching for the Cougars today is number 26, Ashley Stroll. Batting eighth and in the DP position is number 13, Melissa Hadzik. Batting ninth and playing left field is number 9, Gina Westfall. And playing right field today is number 4, Haley Goldsby. If we can have all who are able to please rise, face the flag as we honor America, the men and women of our military, and our first responders with the playing of the national anthem.
Good afternoon and welcome to CUC Softball Field for the start of the home opener of your Concordia University Chicago Cougars as they play host to the Firebirds of Carthage College. Peter Borkowski here on the Cougar Sports Network with you today for the home opener of the Cougars. Let's get a little preview of the two teams before we head into the game. The Cougars, their 12th game of the season today, a 4-11 record. Currently on a one-game losing streak after they split their last game day at Carthage. That came on Monday of last week. So they'll look to rebound after that loss to the Thunder. Meanwhile, on the other side of the diamond today are the Firebirds of Carthage, also playing their 12th game of the season, also sporting a 4-7 overall record. They, too, are currently on a 1-game losing streak. They dropped their last game back on March 21st at Lake Forest College, a score of 9-7 in favor of the Foresters. Since then, they haven't been able to play a game. That second game against Lake Forest was suspended in the 8th due to darkness. Their doubleheader versus Illinois College on March 25th was canceled, and then their doubleheader against fellow NAC school with the Cougars, Milwaukee School of Engineering, back on March 27th was postponed for the time being. So, first game in 9 days for the Firebirds. Meanwhile, the Cougars, again, have not played since March 20th, that doubleheader at Wheaton. It was a good first game for the Cougars against the Thunder, a 19-9 run rule victory. Game 2 ended in favor of Wheaton, however, a 13-5 run rule victory over the Cougars. Cougars were supposed to play the Wednesday following that Wheaton game against North Park. That game was postponed, however, so Cougars playing once again for the first time in 10 days as the players take their positions on the diamond.
Up to bat is number 11, Claire Rettler.
So Claire Rettler will start things off for the Firebirds. She's going up against number 26 for the Cougars, sophomore Ashley Schroll. Schroll, the innings leader so far this season for the Cougars. She fires the first pitch in there for a strike. Schroll coming into today, a 4.07 ERA and 10 appearances, 43 innings pitched, as now home plate umpire is going to come out and have some words with Schroll. And then relays a message to head coach of the Cougars, Sarah O'Malley Fisher. Now, Blue takes her place back behind home plate as we get set for the 0-1 pitch. Just a little high, so a 1-1 count now against Rettler. Rettler having herself a season. Team best 556 batting average, a 12.06 on base plus slugging. So number 11 in black having herself a season. Speaking of Firebirds, wearing their all-black uniforms with red lettering. Meanwhile, the Cougars are white jerseys with gold sleeves, maroon lettering, and then their maroon pants with gold socks. For their first home game of the year, Schroll gets set for the 1-1. And Rettler is going to look at strike number 2. So a 1-2 count now on the leadoff hitter for Carthage. Makes contact with that one. It's going to dribble foul, though. Gloved by the third baseman for the Cougars, Bella Archuleta. And Rettler will get set to do it again versus Schroll. Schroll on the verge of the strikeout this season. As that is a ball, so Rettler takes her base.
Up next to bat is number 1, Gracie Black.
So leadoff walk to Rettler. Again, home plate umpire having some words with Cougars starting pitcher Ashley Schroll. She now brings Coach O'Malley Fisher into the group. Home plate umpire O'Malley Fisher and Schroll still having a conversation. Not exactly sure what the details are. Either way, Carthage gets the leadoff runner on with Claire Rettler's walk, and that'll bring up number 1, Gracie Vlatch, to the plate. Flash on the season, a .357 hitter. Has started in all 12 games that she's played in, and now Vlad showed blunt, fired a second, and the Cougars get the runner. Jessica Gang behind the plate, fires it to Becky Peroni covering second. As the runner heads back to second. I think head coach of the Firebirds, Amy Gilmore, is going to have some words with the first base umpire. And they are still going to rule her out. Gilmore shakes her head, not happy with that call. Either way, Cougars cut down the leadoff runner at second. This Gang behind the plate, making her pitcher's life a lot easier with that throw out. Now all Schroll has to do is worry about Vlach here as she fires one in for a strike. And that one hit right back to Schroll, takes her time, throws it to first baseman Haley Howard for the easy out. So Vlach grounds out to Schroll, and that'll bring up Kaylee Geyser now to try and keep the inning alive for her Firebirds. As the first pitch is fouled back. Geyser batting .391 on the season, 1,000 OPS. 6 games played, 6 starts in those 6 games. The 0-1 a little high, so it'll be ball one now. So Schroll gets set for the 1-1. Schroll giving her catcher the signals. Don't see that too often as this one is blooped and it's going to roll foul. Bella Archuleta pulled up at the last second to let that one roll foul. Now Schroll's got a 1-2 count to work on against Geyser. So Schroll looking for her first strikeout the game and just barely misses it. Home plate umpire peels down the line. Ball is called, so count evens out at 2-2. Schroll still has a little leeway to work with as she looks for strikeout number 29 on the season, and she's going to get it. Strikeout looking. Schroll gets Geyser. And after the lead-off batter gets on with the walk, Cougars throw her out, ground out from Gracie Vlach, and then Schroll strikes out Geyser for the third out of the inning. So we're going to head to the bottom of the first now. We still have no score here at CUC softball field between the Cougars and the Firebirds. Bottom of the first here at Concordia University, Chicago in River Forest. Cougars escaped the top of the first. No runs allowed. Leadoff batter did get on with a walk. That was Claire Rattler. Then she was thrown out a second before Vlach and Geyser grounded out and struck out respectively. So that's how we got here to the bottom of the first, and that'll bring up number 14 for the Cougars, Becky Peroni. Peroni, the heavy hitter on this Cougars offense, has built up the accolades through her 3 seasons here at Concordia. The senior was an All-American back in 2021, made the 3rd team, also All Great Lakes Region team, 1st team, as well as All NAC 1st team. Which is off to another great start as she looks at ball 1 from starting pitcher Maddie Conway. We'll get to her stats in just a second. But Peroni continuing her strong play in the season. She looks at yet another ball. .559 batting average for the senior. A .1584 on base plus slugging. Those are All-American numbers. As she looks at ball 3 high. Drawn at 8 walks on the season. That leads all Cougars batters. Not surprising that pitchers don't exactly go after Peroni with the power that she has. 2 home runs already on the season. Led the Cougars in that category last as well as 2021. Her All-American season is now, all of a sudden, we have a full count. Conway firing 2 straight strikes against Peroni. Peroni yet to lift the bat off her shoulders. Conway, 3.24 ERA as the 3-2. Peroni makes contact to the shortstop, who fires it to first for the 6-3 ground out. That was Sarah Benna over to Izzy Hernandez. So Peroni started out with a 3-0 count. Conway got it back to full count before Peroni grounded out to short, and that'll bring up Nikita Robbins now, the senior center fielder, also having herself a nice season as she takes a hack at the first pitch for foul ball. Robbins, a .486 batting average, 1129 OPS, was named Offensive Player of the Week for the NAC after a pretty great day at Wheaton last week. As we can pull those stats up in just a second. This one grounded back to Conway, over to Izzy Hernandez for the easy out. So 2 batters up, 2 batters down for the Cougars, and now we'll bring up Bella Archuleta. Archuleta, a junior, was the NAC South Freshman of the Year back in her rookie season, 2021. Also made the first All-NAC team that season as well, as she looks at the first pitch from Conway for a ball. Archuleta fighting back from a couple injuries last season, as she ropes this one to Bennett, fires it over to Hernandez, and that'll do it for the Cougars, top of the order. So the first inning wrapped up here at CUC Softball Field, the home opener for the Cougars in the 2023 season. We're going to head to the top of the second, still tied up at 0. Top of the second, about to kick off here at Concordia University, Chicago. We got a scoreless game between the Firebirds of the visiting Carthage and the Cougars of the host Concordia. Ashley Schroll back in the circle for the Cougars. Walked the first batter of the game. She was thrown out by Jessica Gang behind the plate and then induced a ground out from Gracie Vlatch before striking out Kelly Geyser. And now Izzy Hernandez gets a hold of the first pitch of the inning. She's only going to make it to first. As Haley Goldsby out and right relays it into Arissa Santos at second. So one pitch and a hit for Hernandez. Second straight inning, the leadoff batter, has gotten on. And now will be some pitcher action here as Schroll takes on Conway. Conway, takes the first pitch for a ball. On the season, Conway, 188 batter, as she gets a piece of that one. Past a diving Archuleta and a diving Peroni. It makes its way into left field for the second straight single. And now Schroll in a bit of a bind here. Runners at first and second. No outs, and now she'll have to go up against Gwen Hendrick, a center fielder. Schroll's first pitch to Hendrick. Big swing there from number 9 in black. It's a swing and a miss, though, so strike one. Schroll gives Gang the sign for what she's about to throw. She delivers. That one hooks foul. So 0-2 count now on Hendrick, the center fielder. It's played in 9 games, has started in all 9 of those, a 308 average, 691 on base plus slugging as Schroll winds up, delivers it. It's in the dirt. Gang able to get in front of it, though, for ball 1 on Hendrick. Conway at first, Hernandez at second. Both of them getting a single. And now the 1-2 to Peroni at short. Fires the third. They get the lead runner. Smart play there by Peroni. They get the force out of Hernandez.
Up to bat, number 6, Riley Johnson.
So Hendrick reaches on the fielder's choice. Hernandez thrown out at third. Conway advances to second. So now with 1 out, it's Riley Johnson playing in right field today. She takes a swing at the first pitch for strike 1. A lot more swings here in the second inning than we saw in the first, as these batters seeming to get more of a read on Schroll. Already 2 hits on the inning. Johnson, 158 batting average in 9 games played. And Schroll, that's going to be a missed throw as it makes its way into right field. Conway's going to advance to third. So Gang, the catcher, tried to nail Hendrick. He's taking a bit of a lead off. It was a missed throw. Haley Howard tried to get in front of it. Instead, it squeaks by into right. So now Conway going to advance to third. Riley Johnson now gets set. 1-1 count on the right fielder. Schroll. And taking off for second was Hendrick. Arissa Santos cut off the throw before it even reached second. She fired it to third. So Santos, the freshman, preventing Conway from going anywhere. However, Hendrick's going to reach second, no problem. Johnson, 2 runners in scoring position, looking to start the scoring off here with a bang. 1-2 count. That one just outside. 2-2 count now on number 6 in black. Sarah Bennett on deck, and then followed up by the number 9 hitter, Abby Wiersbicki. Only 1 out. Double play is no longer an option after the stolen base from Hendrick. And now Johnson, a 3-2 count. Let's see if Schroll decides to go after her. Is he going to play it more conservative? Putting a runner on first might not be the worst thing, as that brings up the option for the double play, as that pitch swung on and missed. Strikeout number 2 on the day for Schroll. So Johnson will take a seat in the dugout, and now with 2 outs, 2 runners in scoring position, that brings up Sarah Bennett, the shortstop. Bennett only played in 7 games so far this season, a .375 average, 1024 OPS, so putting up good numbers in that limited playing time. As she's going to look at ball 1 for the first pitch. Schroll flashes the signs to gang. The pitch. This one hit to Santos at second. Easy ground out to first, and so Ashley Schroll in a bind, runners at second and third with only 1 out. She gets out of it as the Cougars, they'll come up to bat in the bottom of the second. We're still scoreless here at CUC softball, the 2023 home opener, coming back in just a minute. Bottom of the second here at Concordia University, Chicago. You're watching the Cougar Sports Net. Softball playing in the 2023 home opener. Haley Howard up to bat as she takes strike 1 from Conway. Howard, the senior first baseman, also sees some time over opposite side of the diamond at third. 286 batting average on the season, a 718 on base plus slugging, as I've started in every game for the Cougars so far this season. As she now works her way to a 2-1 count against Conway. Marissa Santos on deck, and then Jessica Gang also guaranteed to bat this inning, as that one absolutely roped into right field. It'll be a leadoff single for Haley Howard. Johnson got over there quick enough to cut it off. As the Cougars, they get their first hit of the day. And that'll bring up the hard-hitting freshman Arissa Santos, 407 batting average, 5 doubles on the season. Santos has got some power behind her bat, a .593 slugging percentage. She's played and started in all but 1 game so far this year for the Cougars, as She's just going to take that first one for a ball. Meanwhile, Howard currently on first. She's come across home plate 11 times this year. She's going to see if she can do it again in the bottom of the second to give her Cougars the lead. Marissa Santos now looking at a one-on-one count against Conway. Started talking about Conway's stats last inning, at least stats in the circle. She's also in the lineup as Santos. That one hit to the second baseman, flips it to first. Weers Bicky to Hernandez. Nice diving play by Weers Bicky to get in front of it. As now she's going to take a squat on the ground as head coach Gilmore comes out to check on her second baseman. So while coaching staff and her fellow players check on Weers Bicky, Haley Howard makes her way to first. And they'll bring up Jessica Gang to the plate now. So Jessica Gang up to bat, absolutely slaps this one into center right field. She's going to put the brakes on, and Haley Howard's going to cross home for the first run of the day. Jessica Gang, a hard hit single into right center. And coming all the way from second base is Haley Howard for the run. Gang gets herself an RBI on the another RBI on the year, I should say. That's number 3 on the season for Gang. And that'll bring up fellow sophomore, the pitcher for the Cougars today, Ashley Schroll. Now currently looking at a 1-0 count. Gets a piece of that one, fouls it back to even the count up at 1-1. Schroll on the season, a 3.08 average, 616 on base plus slugging. Only has 13 at-bats under her name, though. Coach O'Malley Fisher wanting to make sure her leading innings pitcher doesn't get too overworked as Gang tries to swipe second. She gets thrown out, though. Nice play from Capano to Bennett. So Gang caught stealing, and now Schroll a 1-2 count, looking at 2 outs now as the next pitch is in there, clips the zone for strike number 3. Schroll strikes out looking, but the Cougars, they strike first off the RBI single from Jessica Gang. Haley Howard crossing home plate. And so we're going to head to the third inning now. Cougars are up on the Firebirds 1-0. We'll be back in just a minute on the Cougar Sports Network. Abby Wiersbitke up to bat. Second baseman. Saw her go down after getting the out against Arissa Santos last inning. She's got back up and now is in the batter's box against Schroll. And she takes a big swing at pitch number 1 for strike number 1. Schroll, 2 strikeouts on the day, 1 looking, 1 swinging. Game against Kelly Geyser and Riley Johnson, respectively. As now she builds an 0-2 count against Wiersbicke. A chance to do some damage as Schroll looks out for her 3rd strikeout. Now she's going to get time to tie up her cleats. Always got to worry about player safety out there. Now give Wiersbicke some time to figure out her game plan as she finds herself in an 0-2 hole. Wiersbicke 150 average on the season. She struck out 3 times, trying to avoid time number 4 here. The Schroll gets set. Makes contact. Grounder to Becky Peroni. Fires it across the diamond to Haley Howard for the ground out.
Now to bat number 11, Claire Rettler.
So Wiersbicke strikes out, and that turns the lineup over. Claire Rettler now to bat. Lead off walk to start the game back in the top of the 1st, was then thrown out trying to steal second base. As she gets a piece of that pitch. Tried to go for the slap hit. Almost looked like a slap bunt there. She gets a piece of it. It goes foul, so 0-1 count in favor of Schroll now. Second pitch is too far outside. 1-1 count now on the leadoff hitter for the Firebirds, Rettler. And that pitch clips the strike zone away from Rettler. So 1-2 count now on number 11 in black. Schroll trying to get out number 2 here in the 3rd inning, working with the lead now. So Rettler gets a piece of it. Back to Peroni. Peroni over to Howard. It gets past Howard. Rettler's going to take off for second. She gets there safely. So the missed throw from Peroni leads to Rettler reaching second. And that's going to bring up Gracie Vlach now. Vlach grounded out to Schroll in the 1st. She's going to take this one for a ball. Cougars struggling a little on the defensive end this year. Ranked 12th in the NAC conference in terms of fielding percentage at .904. 34 errors coming into the game, and that one's in the dirt. Gang able to get up and get to it before Rettler could even take a look at third base, and now 2-0 on Vlach. So looking for the second out. Vlach, another ground out to Schroll. Called that one a little too early. Grounder to Schroll, who turns it into the ground out. So Vlach, in her 2 at-bats today, fired that ball right back at Schroll, who made the play. And now with 2 outs, it'll be Kelly Geyser, the designated player, to try to bring Rettler across home. Rettler now at third. swing and a miss from Geyser. She struck out looking in the first inning. Schroll's first strikeout of the day. Since then, she got one more last inning against Riley Johnson. Now the 0-1 popped up. And fouled back. 0-2 now on Kelly Geyser. Schroll had an 0-2 against Abby Wiersbicki. She got her to ground out. So see what she can do against Geyser. Here is this one outside and away. So 1-2 count now. 2 outs. Runner at third and Rattler reached on the Peroni error as Schroll gives her signals to Gang. This one popped up. Gang tracks it down. She can't catch it though. Pops out of her glove. They're going to rule it was fair. So error on Gang. Not able to reel that one in. Gets Geyser to first. Rattler not able to go anywhere though as Coach O'Malley Fisher comes out to the circle, as does the rest of the infield to talk things over with the pitcher Schroll. Rattler still at third. Geyser reaching on the Gang error. Second error of the inning for the Cougs. And that'll bring up Izzy Hernandez. Now, the first baseman got a leadoff single in the second inning before being thrown out at third on a fielder's choice. Schroll found herself in trouble last inning. Runners at second and third with only 1 out. She got out of that one with no damage done. She's going to have to do it again with a runner on third and 2 outs now. As that pitch just a little high for ball 1. Schroll being careful not to groove one down the middle to Hernandez. She does have 2 home runs on the year. As this one finds its way in there for strike number 1. One and 1 count on the Carthage first baseman, and she's going to take time now. Steps back into the batter's box. Schroll checks her band. Delivers the numbers to Gang. Fires the pitch. This one, a single into center field. Nikita Robbins throws it home to Gang. It's too late, however, as Rattler crosses the plate. So a RBI single for Izzy Hernandez. And we're tied up here at the CUC softball field, 1-1 between the Firebirds and the Cougars. Still runners on first and second for Carthage with Maddie Conway up to bat now. She got a single in her first at bat last inning. Made it all the way to third before being unable to score. Now the 1-0 looks like it clips the top corner for strike number 1. Gang ready to get in a throw out with Geyser on second. Said she's just going to pocket that one. Doesn't want to have a repeat of her throw down the first base line earlier that went into right field, advanced the runners. Now the 1-1 outside to Conway. So 2-1's the count now. roll. An absolute slap into right field, and getting under it is Haley Goldsby, though. Solid contact between Conway and the ball. However, it's a futile effort. Goldsby gets under it, reels it in for out number 3, but Carthage, they tie up the game 1-1 here in the top of the third. An RBI single from Izzy Hernandez. So we're going to head to the bottom of the third now. Cougars up to bat, look to retake the lead 1-1 here in River Forest. So the designated pit player up now for the Cougars, Melissa Hadjic, the freshman. Making her first appearance of the day, the freshman from Westchester, Illinois. Went to Nazareth Academy. That's a 1-0 count now. Hadjic, good eye there, takes ball number 2. Nine games played, 6 starts for number 13 in White, who now has a 3-0 count. 250 batting average, 654 on base plus slugging, however. So some decent numbers there, as she's going to take a 4-pitch walk to lead things off. And that'll bring up the left fielder, number 9, Gina Westfall. Westfall, junior from Elmhurst, Illinois, just about a 20-minute drive west of River Forest. A dribbler to third, and they'll get Hadjic on the fielder's choice at second. So first pitch swinging goes Westfall. She reaches at the expense of Hadjic at second. And now lineup turns over back to Becky Peroni. Grounded out to short in her first at-bat. See if she can do a little better here in at-bat number 2 with a runner on. A fast runner at that, and Gina Westfall. Westfall's got a long way to go, though, before reaching home. That one fouled straight back. 0-2 count now on Peroni. And the 0-2 outside. That one up high for ball 2. Peroni set a new career high in runs scored in the Cougars' last doubleheader at Wheaton with 5. So even in her senior year, Peroni's still setting new standards for herself. As she gets a piece of that one, it dribbles into center field. Westfall's going to stop at second, Peroni at first. So a single for Becky Peroni advances Westfall into scoring position for Nikita Robbins now. Mentioned it earlier, Robbins, NAC position player of the week for this current week. last Monday at Wheaton College. Went 7 for 7 between the two games. 3 RBIs as well as 3 runs scored. 4 of those hits came in game 1. So Robbins got the hot bat for the Cougars. She did ground out in the first inning to the pitcher, as it's now a 2-0 count in favor of the pitcher, Conway. All right, number 33. She looks to get Robbins out. This one sneaks past the shortstop, however. Westfall is going to round third. This one all the way to the fence. Peroni's going to go to home now. Robbins tried to turn it into a triple. She's going to get tagged out. But an RBI double for Nikita Robbins. A 2 RBI double, I should say. She brings Westfall home. She brings Peroni home. And the Cougars retake the lead 3-1 here in River Forest. So Robbins drives in 2 runs with her hit. Tried to stretch it into 3, which is where she got tagged out, but damage is done as Archuleta's going to foul that one off. So add another run to Peroni and Westfall's stat sheet for the season. As here's going to be a line out. Almost looked like a hit, but Weir's Becky got over there and snagged it out of the air for the 3rd out of the inning. A line out to the second baseman ends the bottom of the 3rd, but the Cougars, they strike back, score 2 off the RBI double from Nikita Robbins. And we're going to head to the 4th inning now. Cougars, they're leading the Firebirds by 2, 3-1. Top of the 4th here in River Forest. Cougars, they score 2 in the bottom of the 3rd and take the 3-1 lead over the Firebirds. And the comeback attempt is going to start right here with Gwen Hendrick, the center fielder, grounded into a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning. Also added a stolen base. She takes a big hack at that one, gets a piece of it. Either way, it'll be strike 1 for Hendrick. Last time these two teams met came on April 24th of 2019, a 6-3 Carthage College win. As this one over the outreached hand of Robbins all the way back to the fence. Hendrick slides into second safely, and a leadoff double for Gwen Hendrick gets the Firebirds off right here in the 4th inning. And that'll bring up Riley Johnson to bat now. Johnson struck out swinging back in the 2nd. As she looks at a strike there. Sure would love to repeat that at bat right here with the runner at scoring position. No outs for the Firebirds. And that one bounces off of Schroll's glove to Arissa Santos, who gets it to Haley Howard in time for the out. That one lined on the ground back to Schroll, bounced off, looked like the palm of her glove, redirected to Santos. Luckily, was able to scoop it up and get it to Howard Johnson. Made it a close play, though, turning on the Jets, trying to make that one work. So with one out, Sarah Bennett up to bat now. Hendrick did advance on that ground out, so she sits at third now, stands at third. Give her a little credit. With only one out, so Bennett is able to just put this one in play. Should bring in the run. There's now a 2-0 count on a shortstop for Carthage. Carthage has won the last 3 matchups of these two teams, including that April 24th matchup I mentioned in 2019. That was a doubleheader sweep up in Kenosha. As the 2-1 is popped up. Peroni goes out, makes the catch. Able to turn around quickly enough to keep Hendrick honest. She stays at third. And they'll bring up Abby Wierzbicki. So Hendrick led things off with a double for 2 straight outs, now put her scoring in jeopardy. And a fastball there from Schroll. Had a little movement on it too as it rose up. Wierzbicki grounded out last inning, top of the third. 6-3 ground out. Cougars just need one more out here to escape the threat of Hendrick. Good job by Gang to get all the way up and stop that one from sailing over her head. That probably would have brought Hendrick home. 1-1 count now. Pitch from Schroll. Fouled back by Wierzbicki. We are one strikeout away from Schroll getting out of Hendrick. Meanwhile, Wierzbicki has got to put this one in play to bring home run number 2 on the day for the Firebirds. Cut this deficit in half. This one is in play and making the running grab. Haley Goldsby, the freshman, showing off the fielding skills. Prevents the run, ends the inning, and we're going to head to the bottom of the 4th now. Cougars still up on the Firebirds, 3-1. Bottom of the 4th inning here. Cougars up by a pair of runs on the Firebirds, and they'll bring up Haley Howard to bat now. Howard seeing the start at first base today. Scored a run back on in the 2nd off the Jessica Gang single as she hooks this one foul down the 3rd baseline. Oh, 1 count now as Howard gets some chance from her dugout. This one at the feet of Conway. Bends over, picks it up, and throws it to first for the out.
Now to bat is number 15, Arissa Santos.
And Arissa Santos to bat now. Ground out to second. Not exactly a ground out. Becky dove in front of it right as it hit the ground before she is able to flip it to Hernandez at first. So Santos still looking for her first hit of the day. She looks at the second ball of the at-bat. And the pitch just low and away. So big batters count here for Santos, 3-0. As Conway throws the first pitch in, their strike in, I should say. No surprise, Santos not swinging there with the 3-0 count. And now Santos, a dribbler to Vlach at third, and pulling off the splits to make the play was Hernandez. Showing off the flexibility, get that out.
Now to bat is number 12, Jessica Gang.
And now to the tune of Star Wars comes Jessica Gang. RBI single in the second inning to drive in Haley Howard. And she lays down the surprise bunt there, and it's just going to roll foul. Vlach watching that one for a couple seconds as it slowly turned its way foul. And now Gang will have to head back to the batter's box. And second pitch for Gang low for ball one. Last game Gang played as she fouls that one off for strike number 2. It was a 1-3 game against the first game against Wheaton. Scored 2 runs, also drew a walk. Didn't play in that second game against Wheaton, so Gang hasn't seen the field in quite some time now as she finds herself at a 2-2 count against Conway. And a big swing and miss there from Gang. Conway, she gets strikeout number 2 in it. A little bit of confusion there. I think they thought the catcher dropped the ball. Gang took off for first, got there, but home plate umpire pumping the fist up in the air, making it clear that that was a strikeout. So it is a strikeout swinging. Howard, Santos, and Gang go 1, 2, 3. Conway, a clean inning there, and we're going to head to the 5th inning now. Cougars still up on the Firebirds 3-1. Sorry. Back here in River Forest. 5th inning of play between the Cougars and the Firebirds. CUC up on Carthage 3-1. The 2 RBI double from Nikita Robbins is how we got here. And Claire Rettler back to the top of the lineup. She's reached on a walk and an error so far this game. So 0-1 day so far for the leadoff hitter as she takes strike one. And now that one, Rattler held off, so she'll take a ball. So Schroll's last pitching appearance came in that second game against Wheaton over a week ago, as this one's in the dirt for ball number 2. Schroll pitched 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits allowed, 5 runs, none of which were earned, however. Also threw 2 walks. So not the cleanest of outings from Schroll. Also started that first game against Wheaton as this one rolls foul for strike number 2. And in that first game, Schroll went 4 innings. Allowed 11 hits, 9 runs, 8 of which were earned. Able to pump 2 strikeouts in there. And just getting a piece of it is Rattler to stay alive for another pitch at the least. Two to 2 count now on Rattler. Schroll's pitch, another foul off. As Gracie Vlach caught that foul after it ricocheted off the protective net. Caught it with one hand, so flashing the fielding skills even on the on-deck circle. Count still remains 2-2 on Rattler, however. Is this one in play? Bouncer to Peroni. It's going to be close, and just out is Rattler. About as close as it comes. That was a slow bouncer to Peroni. Rattler has some speed on her, especially with her slap style of hitting. But first base umpire gives the out to the Cougars. And that'll bring up Gracie Vlach now. 0-2 on the day. 2 straight groundouts to Schroll. Almost the 3rd straight one. Sliding play by Santos at throw nowhere in time. So an infield single for Vlach. And that'll bring up Kelly Geyser. 0-2 on the day. Struck out looking in the first before reaching on a dropped catch from Jessica Gang in the third. That was called an error on the Cougars catcher. And now a bunt there from Geyser. Archuleta scoops it up, throws the first, and holding on to it is Santos. And now some disagreement from the Carthage side. It was a close play. Santos covering first when Howard came in to play the bunt. That catch was very close to hitting Geyser on the head. And Santos, able to get as this one lined into center field, and it's over the fence. A bit of a deceptive hit there from Hernandez. It didn't look like it had much height on it. Instead, it makes its way over the left center wall, and we are tied up here at the CUC softball field. Izzy Hernandez powers home run number 3 on the season over the left center wall. That ball had some speed on it. That's why it looked like it might have come back down and hit the wall. Also hard to tell here, the center field wall at CUC softball field hasn't had a protective screen inserted yet, so kind of tricky to tell what is the center field wall, what's the CUC baseball field's wall, which is directly behind the softball field wall. No matter how tricky it looked, the ball was over the fence. We're tied up at 3. And we have a 2-0 count now on Maddie Conway, the pitcher. Finds herself pitching in at least a tied game. Maybe she's going to try and give herself a lead here, as she is 1 for 2 on the day. A single in the second before flying out to Haley Goldsby in the third. And it's a 3-0 count now. And that one high. 4-pitch walk to Conway. As Schroll might be a little frazzled after that 2-run homer. So Jessica Gang having a conversation with her pitcher, who in her last 5 pitches has let up a game-tying 2-run homer, and then 4 straight balls to walk Conway. She goes up against Gwen Hendrick, who got a leadoff double to start last inning. Depending on Conway's speed, which we haven't been able to see much of yet today, a double again might give Carthage a lead, which they have not had yet. 2 tie games. Cougars have had 2 leads. As this one, a high pop fly to left center. Gina Westfall comes over to make the play, end the inning, but Carthage strikes back in a big way. The Izzy Hernandez home run brings 2 across home, and we are tied up here in the bottom of the 5th, 3-3. We'll be back in a minute on the Cougar Sports Network. Tied game here in River Forest after the 2 RBI home run from Izzy Hernandez in the top of the 5th. And now Ashley Schroll, who gave up that home run, is going to try to give herself a lead back as she fouls this one down the first baseline. Schroll struck out looking in the second inning. And she now has an 0-1 count against Conway. Conway's 0-1. That one grounded right back to her as she takes her time getting it to Hernandez at first for the ground out. So with one out, they'll bring Hadjic back up to the plate. Drew a 4-pitch walk in the third inning, was then thrown out in a fielder's choice hit by Gino Westfall in the next at bat. So Hadjic looking for her second base appearance in as many at bats here today. She now has a 1-1 count against Conway. Hadjic, this one to Vlach at third. Across the diamond to Hernandez for out number 2. And Conway been on a tear ever since Nikita Robbins' 2 RBI double in the third. Since then, she has retired 6 straight batters. And she's going to look to make it 7 here with Westfall. Westfall grounded into a fielder's choice in the third, which is where Hadjic was thrown out at second. Westfall did cross home, though, as she gets a piece of that one near the hands. Cross home, then Nikita Robbins' 2 RBI double. Now 1-1 count on Westfall. The pitch from Conway. This one flown out to right where it's reeled in cleanly by Johnson. And that will be another 1-2-3 inning for Conway. She finds herself in a groove, retiring the past 7 Cougars batters. And we're going to head to the 6th inning now. 2 more innings to go in the 2023 home opener for your Concordia University Chicago Cougars. It's a tied game between CUC and Carthage, 3-3 here in the 6th inning. Reminder to all Cougars fans that you can find all information about CUC athletics on our website, cucougars.com. All you have to do is go to the website and click on sports, where you can find information about any team on campus, including the softball team. Find stuff like schedules, stats, rosters, social medias, and more. Once again, that's our website, cucougars.com. And back here on the diamond, Carthage looking to take a lead against Ashley Schroll and the Cougars. Is this pitch in there for a strike? Carthage tied things up last inning off the Izzy Hernandez 2-run homer. And they'll bring up Johnson, who's 0-2 on the day. Holds off that one. Good eye as it's a ball. Struck out swinging back in the second, Johnson did, before she grounded out to Arissa Santos in the 4th inning. And then the 1-1 low and away for ball number 2. And now we get a time here. In left field, Gina Westfall adjusting her visor. last game Johnson played in was that first game of the Lake Forest doubleheader, which ended up not being a doubleheader as that second game was suspended due to darkness. She went 0 for 1 in that game, drew a walk, also came across home. She's still looking for her first hit of the day. And this pitch up high, so we'll have a 3-2 count now against Johnson. Also at a 3-2 count when she struck out in the second inning. Johnson's last hit came at Fredonia on March 17th. She had 2 hits in that win for the Firebirds. As this one fouled back, she's going to stay alive for at least one more pitch. Troll looking to settle back in after that home run led up to Hernandez. And we get another foul ball from Johnson. Count still at 3-2 after 2 straight foul balls from Hernandez. And now another foul ball. This gang catches the foul ball when it rebounded off the especially bouncy protective netting here at CUC softball field. Doesn't count for an out, but still pretty cool. Home plate umpire checking something down the third baseline. I think one of the Carthage players a little too far out of the dugout for comfort. And player safety prioritized here as this one hit in between third and short. So Johnson gets her first hit in nearly 2 weeks of play. As a lead-off single now leads to the shortstop, Sarah Bennett. Ground out in the second, and then a fly out in the fourth. Grounded out to Santos before flying out to Peroni. Nice running grab by Peroni coming out from shortstop. And Bennett lays down the bunt. Archuleta scoops it up, throws to Santos covering first for the out. It just does its job, though, of advancing the base runner. So a sacrifice bunt from Sarah Bennett. And that'll bring up Abby Wierzbicki. The first pitch to Wierzbicki in there for a strike. Wierzbicki kind of turned around like it almost hit her, but it was in the strike zone, so 0-1 count now on the second baseman. She's grounded out and lined out. A nice running grab by Haley Howard as this one popped up. Arissa Santos calls for it, reels it in for out number 2. And we are back to the top of the lineup with Rettler. Walked in the first, reached on an error in the third, and then grounded out in the 5th inning to Becky Peroni. So see what the leadoff hitter can do here. Runner in scoring position with Johnson at second. This one laid in front of Gang. She's just going to pocket it. So successful bunt there leads to a hit for Rettler. Advances Johnson to third. And some great situational hitting here from Carthage. What you need in a close game like this, can't always rely on that long ball. Need a couple of sack bunts, a couple infield hits. And now they got runners on the corners with 2 outs. And Gracie Vlach, who singled last inning up to bat now, came across home on the Izzy Hernandez home run. Before that, she grounded out 2 straight times to Ashley Schroll in the circle. So see what she does here with a runner at third base, 2 outs up on the board. As this one lined out to Ashley Schroll. Vlach having some difficulties getting it past Schroll as she's now grounded out or lined out to her 3 times in her 4 at-bats. But either way, however it's done, it's out number 3 for the Cougars. They escaped the runner at third with no damage, and we're going to head to the bottom of the 6th. Still tied up at 3 runs apiece here at Concordia University, Chicago. Now up to bat for the Cougars. It's the top of the lineup, which is what you want as we are in the final 2 innings of today's game. It's Becky Peroni, 1 for 2 today. Grounded out in her first at bat to short before singling in the 3rd inning and then coming across home as part of Nikita Robbins' 2 RBI double. And she looks at ball 1 for the first pitch. One and one count now on Peroni. That one down by her feet for ball number 2. Another one low and inside. So a 3-1 count now on the Cougars' heavy hitter and Peroni. She pops that one foul back into Division Street. Hits one of the parked cars out on the street. So full count now against Peroni. She had a full count in her first at-bat before grounding out to short. See what she could do here on this one. She hits that one over the shortstop and third baseman. And struggling to get it is the left fielder, Rettler, but she regains it, throws it to Weirs-Bicky, who tags out Peroni in time. So Peroni reaches onto single, tries to turn it into 2 after Rettler bobbles it. But Rettler, nice recovery there from the left fielder to throw Peroni out at second. And now with no outs, it's Robbins, a high pop fly. Getting under it is Rettler, making her second straight play. And now with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th, it is Bella Archuleta. Archuleta looks at that one down the middle for strike number 1. turns her head at that one. That was head level for ball number 1. So 1-1 count now on the Cougar third baseman. Make that a 2-1 count. She grounded out her first at bat to short. That was back in the first inning, a 1-2-3 inning for Conway. He's been pitching extremely well as of late. And now this one blooped to short, reeled in by Bennett. And another 1-2-3 inning for Conway. Peroni did get a single, but got thrown out when she tried to stretch it into 2. And we're going to head to the final inning of play, at least final scheduled inning of play, as we could have some extra softball coming up as we're still tied here 3-3 in River Forest. Final inning of play here. Oh, like I said, when we closed out the sixth inning, we could have some extra softball on our way. We're still knotted up here in the 7th now. Ashley Stroll still going for the Cougars in the circle as she has to face Geyser, Hernandez, and Conway. And it starts with Geyser 0-3 on the day, a strikeout looking, reached on an error in the 3rd, and then grounded out in the 5th as she takes ball 1 to start this at-bat here in the 7th. This one popped up. Coming over to make the grab is Goldsby. Robbins in the vicinity as well.
Now the bat number 34, Izzy Hernandez.
So a fly out to Goldsby. And that brings up Izzy Hernandez, and the infield as well as Coach O'Malley Fish are going to have a chat about how to handle Hernandez. She tied up the game in one swing in the 5th inning, driving herself as well as Gracie Vlach home on a 2-run homer. That's how we got to our 3-3 score. And now she gets set to take on Ashley Schroll for a 4th time, where she's going to look to go a perfect 4-for-4. Single in the 2nd, RBI single in the 3rd, and then, as I mentioned, that 2-run homer back in the 5th. So Schroll gets set and fires a pitch for strike 1. Hernandez acting as the cleanup hitter for the Firebirds. Schroll flashes the signs to her catcher Gang, as that one is up and away for ball number 1. Schroll made 18 pitching appearances last year as Hernandez takes time. She had the 2nd best ERA on the squad with her mark of 3.84. Led the team in strikeouts, however, with 69. And that pitch in there for strike number 2. And now Schroll just one strike away from getting Hernandez out for the first time today. Hernandez has been a thorn in the Cougars' side. As this one lined out to Arissa Santos. And for the first time today, the Cougars retire Hernandez.
Now to bat number 33, Maddie Conway.
And that'll lead to the pitcher, Maddie Conway. Still batting at least. Likely we see her coming back out in the circle. She's been pitching extremely well ever since Nikita Robbins' 2-run double back in the third inning. Now Conway looks at the first pitch for a ball. The 1-0 from Schroll in the dirt for ball number 2. Gwen Hendrick on deck. Riley Johnson in the hole for Carthage. And the 2-0 fouled off by Conway. 2-1 now on Conway. And that'll be another foul ball. So after the 2-0 hole Schroll found herself in, she works her way back to 2-2. Even count now on Conway. Schroll looks to wrap up a clean top of the 7th with a 1-2-3 half inning. One pitch away from doing so. She fires a 2-2. Conway went. And that'll be out number 3. I think some confusion. The Cougars hanging out on the field for a second. I guess they thought it was getting appealed down to first, and the first base umpire gave his sign of out as well. So despite the confusion, it's still the third out for the Cougars. We're going to head to the bottom of the 7th now. Cougars one more inning to see if they can pull away with this one before we have to start heading to extra softball. Don't go anywhere in the Cougar Sports Network to see if they can do it. Right back here on the Cougar Sports Network. Want to give a shout out to everyone making today's production possible before we head to the bottom of the 7th. Janie Turnez and Sydney Lloyd on production. Emily Balaban working the scoreboard. Amaya Martin on the camera. Saba Miller floating around taking photographs. We're under the direction of Sydney Palacios-Slaher and our sports information director, Kayla McLeod. Peter Wojciechowski here on the Cougar Sports Network as Howard swings at the first pitch, grounds out to short. So a quick first out here for Maddie Conway.
Number 15, Arissa Santos.
And I'll bring up Arissa Santos. 0-2 on the day. 4-3 ground out and then a 5-3 ground out in the 2nd and 4th inning, respectively. As she looks at that pitch for a ball, Santos takes another ball there. She's been pretty close to pulling one over the fence a couple times this year. She's got some pop behind that bat. She's driven one out to the wall on several occasions. Now would not be such a bad time for her first home run, as this one instead is grounded to Vlach at third. Fires it to Hernandez at first for the ground out. So the final out for the Cougars in the regular 7 innings. Belongs to Jessica Gang right now. Gang 1 for 2 on the day, an RBI single in the second, and then a strikeout swinging in the fourth. As that pitch is there for a ball. Gang is followed up by Schroll in the lineup, and then in the hole is Melissa Hadjic. Conway's 1-0 pitch is outside as well, so 2-0 now. Excuse me. The 2-0. This one lifted into right, all the way back, and making the grab was Riley Johnson. Jessica Gang took that one about as far back as you could. Johnson caught it and then immediately slammed into the wall. So nice tracking there by Johnson, and we're going to head to extra innings here in River Forest. We are still tied up at 3, but don't go anywhere as we got a thriller on our hands here on the Cougar Sports Network. Thank you. Back here in River Forest, it's time for some extra innings at the CUC softball field. We were knotted up at 3. It's been that way since the top of the 5th when Izzy Hernandez powered a 2-run homer over the left center wall. Since then, both Conway and Ashley Schroll have been locked down in the circle. As Johnson swings at the first pitch there for a foul. Excuse me, Gwen Hendrick swings at the first pitch there for a foul ball. Riley Johnson in the on-deck circle. Last time Cougars were in extra innings was April 16th of last season. It was a 3-2 loss against Edgewood College in 8 innings. There's another foul off from Hendrick. Brings us to an 0-2 count now. Meanwhile, last time Carthage was in extra innings was that March 21st game against Lake Forest that was suspended due to darkness. That one made its way to the 8th inning, and then the last extra inning games they actually finished was March 12th of this year. 8-7 loss versus Mount St. Mary College down in Florida, and that was an 8-inning game. Getting a piece of that one was Hendrick. So 1-2 count now on the center fielder for Carthage. Schroll flashes the signs, gets set. The 1-2. Popped up, running back to make the grab is Bella Archuleta. And now, with 1 out on the inning, it's Riley Johnson. Last time the Firebirds had a runner was in the 6th inning when Johnson was at third and Rettler was at first. Since then, Schroll has retired the past 5 batters as the announcer's jinx takes immediate effect, and Johnson reaches on that
Now to bat number 19, Sarah.
infield hit. It is an official hit. That one bounced up into the chest of Santos. So the runner on and 1 out. That's Sarah Bennett now in the batter's box. Johnson looked like she's ready to take off. Gang. Nice exchange there to be ready to throw her out. It's a 1-0 count now on Bennett. 1-0. Smacked foul over the Cougars' dugout. Not even sure where that one ended up. So 1-1 count on Bennett. 0 for 3 on the day. 2 groundouts and a fly out. And high pitch there from Schroll. Johnson acted like she's going to take off again. Gang forced her to make her way back to first. So 2-1 count now on Bennett. Schroll, the pitch just outside. 3-1 now on the Carthage shortstop. – 3-1. This one grounded to Arissa Santos, who scoops it up and flips it to Haley Howard for the out. So a 3-1 count ends in favor of the Cougars defense. Santos turning that one over to Howard. And with 2 outs, that'll bring up Abby Wiersbecki. 6-3 ground out in the 3rd. Line out in the 4th to Haley Howard and right, and then a fly out to Bella Archuleta in the 6th. And she gets a piece of this one. Past a diving Santos. Goldsby, she's going to fire it in from right. Gang catches. The tag is applied finally. Riley Johnson trying to do some improv there. Jessica Gang playing some goal line defense on the home plate. And the Cougars, off a great throw from Goldsby and some good reactions from Jessica Gang, are going to head to the bottom of the 8th. A chance to walk it off. See what happens here on the Cougar Sports Network in just a minute. Bottom of the 8th here. A chance for the Cougars to walk things off. Minor stat correction from earlier. Actually, never mind on that one. So, bottom of the 8th starts with the pitcher Ashley Schroll as she makes swings at the first pitch. This one rolls to Bennett at short, who throws it across to first for the out.
Now to bat number 13, Melissa Hadzik.
So with 2 outs, that brings up Melissa Hadzik now. Walked in the 3rd inning and then grounded out in the 5th, as it looks like it will be another ground out here for Hadzik. 2 pitches, 2 outs for Conway. Some extremely efficient work.
Out to bat, number 9, Gino Westfall.
And that'll lead to Gino Westfall now. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Gino Westfall going to see if she can keep the inning going as she takes ball 1. And that one goes foul. It's breaking to the left of the third base bag. One and one now on Westfall. And this one blooped into left center. Westfall is going to stop at first. So a 2-out single for Gina Westfall. That's going to bring up probably the last batter Carthage wants to see right now, and Becky Peroni.
Number 14, Becky Peroni.
Former third-team All-American for the Cougars. 2 for 3 on the day with 2 singles. Also has a run scored. On the season, Peroni, 2 home runs already. Now would be a pretty opportune time for number 3. So Conway really has to lock in here against Peroni, who immediately pops this one up. Racing in and grabbing it is Hendrick. So despite the 2-out single for Westfall, Cougars aren't able to do anything, and we're going to have to head to the 9th inning now. Still tied up at 3 runs apiece here in River Forest. Ninth inning here at Concordia University, Chicago. Cougars, Firebirds tied up at 3 runs apiece. But up to bat now is the leadoff hitter for the Firebirds, Claire Rettler. Rettler had a single on her last at bat, and Archuleta not able to get there in time. So an infield single here for Rettler.
Now up to bat, number 1, Gracie Blatch.
And that'll bring up Gracie Vlach now. Her last at bat lined out to Ashley Schroll. Schroll has been a part of 3 of Latch's outs this game as she looks to make it a 4th. She scoops up that one, throws out Vlach.
Now to bat, number 12.
So Vlach is out, but she advances Rettler. That's going to lead to Kelly Geiser now, the designated player. Still looking for her first hit on the day. She struck out, reached on an error, grounded out, and then flew out in alternating innings as she takes that one high for ball 1. He's the 1-0. Just outside, so 2-0 now on Geyser. And Izzy Hernandez in the on-deck circle, one of the last batters the Cougars want to see as she's 3 for 4 on the day. And this one, line out to Bella Archuleta. And with 2 outs, a runner on second is Hernandez. And just like last time, Cougars going to have a meeting about how to handle her. Started the game off with 3 straight hits, 2 singles, and a 2-run home run. And then lined out to Santos in her last at-bat back in the 7th. So now she's got a runner in scoring position here in the 9th. So a 2 outs. Schroll takes on Hernandez for a 5th time today. Hernandez has gotten the best of the CUC pitcher in 3 of the previous 4 times. That pitch is a little too high for ball 1. That one outside for ball 2. And the 2-0. Swung on and missed. Schroll getting Hernandez to chase on that one as that was outside the strike zone. So 2-1 count now on who's probably been the best hitter of the day in Hernandez. As she looks at ball number 3. Don't think the Cougars would be totally opposed to a walking here of Hernandez. As next up is Maddie Conway, who's 1 for 3 on the day. Don't want to give Hernandez anything she could get a piece of. She gets one there, but it's right to Becky Peroni, who throws it right to Haley Howard for out number 3. So the Firebirds leave Rettler stranded on second. We're going to head to the bottom of the 9th now. Cougars have a chance to win it once again. Stick around on the Cougar Sports Network to find out if they do. Bottom of the 9th here. Robbins, Archuleta, and Howard, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Cougars. So an optimal lineup for who you would want hitting right now, with the chance to close out today here in the bottom of the 9th. Tied up 3-3. It's the first pitch to Robbins, right down the middle for strike 1. And that pitch, not quite good enough for ball 1. And now the 1-1. Robbins knocks it foul. And now 1-2 on the senior center fielder, current NAC position player of the week. And she pops that one up, stays in the infield, and coming in to make the grab is Weirs Bicky.
Now to bat number 1, Bella Archuleta.
So Archuleta looks at a high ball for strike 1, stayed within the zone. She's 0 for 3 on the day with ground out, a line out, and a fly out as she gets hit with that one. Archuleta looks to be in a little pain. She obviously wasn't getting happy with getting hit with that one, but positive side, Cougars get a runner on with only 1 out. And now Haley Howard to bat. We are going to have a pinch runner here, though. So Alyssa Contopoulos comes in to pinch run for Bella Archuleta. As Haley Howard in the box now looks at strike 1. The 0-1 fouled off. 0-2 now. And the on deck circle is Arissa Santos. She's 0 for on the day. Howard launches that one sail by outside for ball number 1. And the 1-2. This one, that's a deep drive in the left field for the game winner. Haley Howard, walk-off home run. And the Cougars take game 1 5-3. A deep drive into left, and Haley Howard powers the Cougars to a victory in a thrilling game 1 in River Forest. Cougars take it 5-3 in 9. Basically played a baseball game here. And that'll do it for the first game in River Forest. It was tied 3-3 since the top of the first, and it took into the bottom of the 9th for Haley Howard to power one over the fence. And the Cougars to come away with the victory. How about that? Haley Howard gets her first home run of the season, and it's an important one as it wins the game for the Cougars. So the Cougars, they take game 1 against Carthage College 5-3 in 9 innings. Absolutely thrilling contest in the first half of today's doubleheader. Ashley Schroll will leave with the win, while Maddie Conway is accredited the loss in today's game. So that'll do it for the first game here from River Forest. One more shout out to the crew working today: Janie Turnus and Sydney Lloyd working production, Emily Balaban on scoreboard, Amaya Martin working one of our cameras, and then Saba Miller floating around taking photographs for the team, doing a great job as always, under the direction of Sydney Pluskas-Lahar and Kayla McLeod. Cougars win Game 1 against Carthage 5-3 in 9 innings. Don't go anywhere. Game 2 will start momentarily, but until then, this is Peter Borkowski signing off the Cougar Sports Network and wanting to say, as always, go Cougars.